troops, and welcome to the With Mates podcast. My name is Andrew Grayson, your host as ever, and we are here to talk about Daredevil Born Again. If you're wondering why I'm talking like this, you've clearly not watched the episodes. Yes, we are back in the wonderful world of Marvel. My name is Andrew Grayson, of course, and we're here to talk about Daredevil. And joining me on this fun escapade, he's the Iceman. He is Baby Boone, Joseph Boone.
Hello there, Andrew. It's a perfect day to be here to talk about Daredevil.
It's a wonderful day. And he will smack your bitch up. He's the smackiest of smacks. It's Paul Stirrett.
I'm here to smack this place up. I am something fierce, I say.
And the pressure is on for the triple barrel man. He is Craig Andrew Mooney.
I'm feeling the pressure to join in, lads. I really, really am. Oh my god, that is a tough thing to ask someone to do straight off the bat, you know.
That's not bad. That was for fairly serviceable. If there's any people listening in Northern Ireland and we absolutely butchered your accent, feel free to let us know.
Severely apologize.
Yes, we are back, of course, to talk all things Marvel. We're here to talk about two episodes of Daredevil Born Again, episode 5 and episode 6. Are we well, gentlemen, before we get started?
Oh, just so well. I'm glad this is just an audio only one because I looked like I've had the shit kicked out of me.
I'm running on coffee and
Sweet
minimal
dreams.
hope right now. Yeah, so.
Minimal hope, no. Well, as Joseph has said, we are audio only for this. We will be back for the finale of Daredevil back in video form, but for now, we are audio only. If you have seen or haven't seen or heard our first 4 episodes, they are on YouTube, they are on Spotify, and they are on Apple. Make sure you're subscribing to all our channels, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple, and following us on the social media. But for listeners old and new, this is how the podcast works. We will give our top thoughts or general ideas, non-spoiler views of what we thought of both of these episodes, and then we will give you a huge spoiler warning so that you can turn the podcast off, go and watch the show, and then come on back and listen to what we've got to say. So, episode 5 and 6, who would like to start the discussion this week?
You know what?
Oh. Craig got his hand up there first, Paul.
There was
Apologies.
a raised hand.
Craig
As
Andrew
always,
Mooney
I'm
is the
polite.
I was going to say he's the politest man in town, so take it away, my friend.
I shall take it away, Andrew, because I wanted to just raise something to all the listeners and say once again, Andrew was right, and I can't keep doing this, guys. I can't keep doing it.
Say it for the people in the back.
Andrew was right. Oh God, he was right. And hey, to be fair, as I said before, I wasn't going harsh on this show as I was on other things. Maybe Invincible, I was, but in this show, I was kind of reserving judgment. I was agreeing with Joseph's points on certain things last time, but I am now fully on the Daredevil hype train, especially after episode 6. I'm going to read out my tweet because this kind of sums up my non-spoiler thoughts, I would say, quite well. So, episode 6 of Daredevil Born Again might be the best episode of television in any Marvel project. That was incredible, potentially a masterpiece. Wow, thematically stunning. And I stand by that opinion.
Marvel killing the fucking game out here, by the way. Killing it. Paul?
You know, Craig, you are allowed to say #Paul was right. Would that
Never.
Would that kill you?
Never.
Would it physically kill you?
I think it might make me leave the podcast. So
We do need to keep up your streak, though, Paul, because you were in terms of your positivity, you were very positive on Daredevil last week. So how are you after these next 2 episodes?
I mean, it was practically beaming right out my shiner, my St. Paddy day. I don't know. I was
are you trying to say Shamrock?
There. My Shamrock. There you
That's
go.
what you-
There you
yeah.
go. That's it. It was beaming right out my Shamrock. There you go. Thank you, Joseph, with the save.
same undertones.
I really enjoyed episode 5. It was but having watched it, I kind of understand why they released 2. 5 was a really good episode, but it was a sort of self-contained thing.
Yep.
It probably contained the thing the most so far in the series that I disliked the most. which I will tell you what that is when we get to after the spoilers. But overall, I thought it was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. And 6, 6 was great. I really like the new villain. I like the journey that Daredevil's going on, and I particularly like the journey that my man Fisk is going on. I'm all about the Fisk.
I bet you are. Yeah, I'm going to kind of agree with you boys. Episode 5 definitely like a filler episode, but to me that's how you do a filler episode.
No. That's not a filler
episode.
That's
Boone,
a bottle.
We will get to you, Boone. Don't you worry. It's a filler episode. It's the way I like to think of it. It's a nice wee one-issue comic during an arc where we get to enjoy them on one wee adventure. We get to see some really cool action. We get a nice wee wink to things that happen in the MCU. And to me, what episode 5 and episode 6 solidified is we are really heading more into maybe not heavy R rating, but definitely more mature content. There was more swearing in episode 5 than I've ever heard in any other Marvel project. We got an F-bomb from Daredevil in episode 6. So like there are and the brutality of some of the fights.
And come on now, that joke the hostage negotiator tells. I mean that was something.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, episode 5 was just a fun wee jaunt. I enjoyed it for what it was. Look, there's going to be people out there going, fucking nothing happened. Go away. Episode 6 is where the story comes in thick and heavy, and I love it like heavy cream. Honest to God, like the final 15 minutes of the episode, the sequence between both Daredevil and Wilson Fisk, absolutely unreal. I'm enjoying this story of Wilson Fisk's 2 different characters of him trying to be the legitimate mayor, but we know he's got this dark side. And the pacing of like a lot of people, Vash included, he's actually kind of caught up, so we're going to try and get Vash on very, very soon to give his thoughts on it as well. Vash is, or Rich, sorry, I call him Vash. Rich has been very much like, get to Daredevil, get the costume on, I want more Daredevil, blah, blah, blah. I'm enjoying the pace, and I feel as if he's got there at a very nice gradual point, and now we've got 3 lovely episodes to end it. I've also made a boo-boo, so like on this I'll usually have like Twitter or whatever open to look at like what people's thoughts are and stuff. There's already leaked images of his costume for season 2. Oh boys, it looks so good. It looks so good. But enough about me gushing. We're going to move on.
Hang on.
But before we do,
might I just point out? Yeah, I want to point out, highlight something there, that the strength of the writing and how well this series has done so far is to keep Andrew Grayson hooked with slow boil drama and not punchy action.
But they give me punchy action, and it's very, very goody. Like, I am very much enjoying what they're giving me. But we're now going to move on from my thoughts, and I would like to introduce a fun new section. We have a new jingle, and it goes a little something like this. What's that stench? It's the things he makes. It's Joseph Boone and his smelly takes.
Thank you, Andrew.
Ooh, P.U.
Welcome to Joseph Boone's smelly takes section. Yeah. I hope you got your nose plugs ready.
Before he starts, I am so proud of that jingle, and I've been singing that all day, and it's been stuck in my head.
It's actually a really good. It's a really good jingle.
Copyright.
So if there's anybody listening here that wants to put a wee bit of jaunty music to that, feel free.
Yeah, I really liked it. As insulting as it is to me, Andrew, I quite liked it. So episodes 5 and 6, really good bottle episode, I would say, in the bank. It was really nice to hear Charlie Cox's Irish accent again, like all you Boardwalk Empire fans. Really lovely.
Ken as well, please.
Yeah, Boardwalk Empire though. Then we get.
Mate, have you seen Ken? Have you seen Ken?
Mate, I'm 5. I've seen fuck all.
Oh, mate,
we don't have Apple TV. Craig, we don't have Apple TV.
That's all BBC iPlayer.
So
pay your license.
Anyway,
go watch it.
Anyway. I think I feel like the pace is starting to ramp up in the show. It's starting to gain a bit more traction. There was a lot more things in these 2 episodes that I enjoyed. I still find the fight scenes a little bit jarring. It feels like the editing's like now, Andrew. Wait till I finish my point before you react.
I'm waiting. I didn't interrupt until you said my name, but like that hurt me in the belly.
So I find the fight scenes are very well choreographed. They are performed very well. I think when it comes to editing them, I think they're cutting just a little bit too quickly on them because we're not seeing follow through. At least when I was like, I wanted to see like a shot linger a bit more on some of the fight scenes, especially when he had that wee scuffle outside. So, but it's getting better. It's getting better.
Can I just point out the irony of Joseph Boone wanting more follow through in the smelly takes section?
Poo jokes. There's big top tier humour in the West Nights podcast. What was I going to say? Yeah, so look, I kind of get what you're saying. It's hard to kind of talk about it in specifics in terms of this episode because I think the editing of what they did in this episode worked a lot for me, which we will get into more when we start talking about the spoiler stuff. And I think we'll just take that nice little cue.
The one thing that's not landing for me at all is his relationship with What's-Her-Face.
Vanessa.
No, not Vanessa. The
Daredevil's missus.
Yeah,
who cares?
Yeah, I'm just
again. I'm not going to argue with that because I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the suit, and I'm here for Fisk. And I like again. I get it. These shows you need to put in a wee bit of sex and romance because like you get people like Paul. That just can't cope with just the marriage counselling. He needs a wee bit of.
Well, my thing is, I have been feasting on Vanessa and Fisk, marriage counselling.
Well, so is what's his face, and that's why Fisk is upset.
Well, yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. But my man Fisk, he's maybe got something to say about that. But I am curious to see how the what's-her-face psychologist and Daredevil's relationship intertwines.
It's gonna link, isn't it? It's gonna link eventually.
Fisk's. It has to at some point.
See, even like again, like it's only just clicked on. I was like, oh yeah, of course she's the psychiatrist. I don't care. But we're going to take this point to give you your beautiful big old spoiler warning. If you have not yet watched any of Daredevil episodes 1 through 6, but especially episodes 5 and 6, now is the time to pause the podcast, head on over to Disney Plus or wherever you watch your shows, and then come on back and hear 4 lovely gentlemen talk about fucking superheroes. Right, here we go. So let's start off. And marriage counselling as well. Let's start off, obviously, we'll start off with episode 5. I feel as if we can talk about episode 5 a lot quicker. As much as I did enjoy it, it is filler. It's a nice wee middling episode that kind of pads the series out. But for me, there was loads of stuff in this episode that were enjoyable. It wasn't boring, and it kind of kept ticking over, and it gave us a nice wee relationship between Kamala Khan's dad and Daredevil, which again is a lovely little nod to the MCU in its entirety. I will say that Kamala Khan in the Marvels is the best thing about that film. So I have no ill will towards her. Ms. Marvel is she's such a good wee actress. You can tell she cares as well because her interviews, like you can tell she's a fan of the MCU and stuff like that. So
would you like my negative straight off the bat?
Yeah, go on, give me your negative. I've got a feel. Can I guess what it is?
Oh,
go on, guess.
I think I've got the same negative.
Was it the what I have behind me? Was it the Funko Pop?
Not even specifically the Funko Pop. Just I liked the character of Josef. He was perfectly fine for this. I don't want him to be Ms. Marvel's da for this episode. Yes. I understand that, but I would have liked just bank manager.
Yeah, I see what you mean, Paul. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I don't want superheroes da. Like, you know, I kind of like him being his own thing. I know we're aware other Marvel things are happening, but I'm like, no, get that away from my Daredevil.
Paul also watched Spider-Man, and when Uncle Ben gets shot, he's like, "Oh, I wish that wasn't Spider-Man's uncle. I just wish that was random uncle."
Pedestrian B. No, I kind of get what you mean, but at the same time, like to me, because obviously we are recording Daredevil just now. We're going to be recording the catch up very soon because we've got some really fun Marvel news. But I was kind of talking to my dad about Marvel's state and stuff like that, and like where it's going and what's going on and stuff. And like obviously, there's not a lot of people that might have watched the Ms. Marvel series. The dad was probably one of the best parts about that series. The family dynamic was one of the best things about that series. So for people like me that watch everything that Marvel put out, it's a nice wee wink and nod, because to me, I think the biggest complaint that I can have about what the MCU have been doing through the multiverse saga is there's no really interconnection. There's nobody's really meeting up, and there's not. And so if they do, it's like an after credit scene. And I was talking about the timing, like so the way the movies worked in the first kind of phase, you had 5 films, then an Avengers film, then it was 4 films, then an Avengers film. Then there was 6 films, and you got, and of those 6 films, there was like an Avengers 2.5. Then you got Infinity War, 2 films, Endgame. Whereas for we've started this, you've had 10 movies, I believe, and about 12 series, not including like the one-off specials as well. So there's so much content. So I quite like that it's like, oh, this is the world we live in. Because again, we know Spider-Man can't be in this because of the Sony stuff. But it was nice to hear Fisk go, "Oh, a man dressed as a spider." I'm like, yes, because that's in the world, and that would be pivotal to what is going on when we're talking about vigilantes.
See, that I don't mind, because that's what they did in the original Netflix series, where they were like the big green guy, the Norse god guy.
Yeah,
like,
are legally distinct name drops
exactly.
here.
I don't mind, and even being more specific with it, more specific name drops or whatever. But I kinda like Fisk and Daredevil being their own separate thing.
No,
being surrounded
anymore.
by the Marvel sphere. Because my fear is the more Marvel sphere that gets in, that seeps in through the bubble that is Daredevil, the more it's gonna pull down Daredevil.
But we need to think of it more. We need to think of it more as Daredevil is the sponge that we're squeezing, and all the goodness from Daredevil will spread to the rest of the MCU. Because I don't want a Kingpin in a bubble. I want Kingpin interacting with Spider-Man. I want the opening of the first Spider-Man game. You don't know what that happens in that pub. I want that to happen. In the movies and stuff like that. So I want Daredevil, and again, the tone, the feel, the performances, the story, this has given me hope now that the people, because again, this was all changed, so I'm going, right, there was something that happened, and I believe that's the people in the higher ups. There's been people that have changed up there, and now they've went, no, this is the direction we're going, and this is the story we're going to tell. And I hope that continues with the movies and the TV shows going forward. Joseph, did you have a complaint that kind of aligned with what Paul was saying?
I was going to say the exact same thing. It was like I didn't like it being Yusuf Khan as the assistant to the bank manager. However, as much as the blatant product placement was a pain in the arse, it makes sense because he's his daughter's biggest fucking fan. It does make sense, and
it makes sense in the sense, like in the Ms. Marvel comic TV series, she has collectibles for Captain Marvel,
all these different heroes.
So,
it does make sense, and I liked
again,
it.
This is coming from me. I have Funko Pops up there. If I ever get to become one, oh my god, you better fucking believe I'm buying 7.
No, Andrew. The goal is to become part of the 3 Club, which is like the certain actors who have 3 separate Lego minifigures of different characters. That's the club you want to be
like
in.
That too. I mean, who's killing that just now? Is it Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac's. So's Johnny Depp.
Even just in Marvel.
Johnny Depp's.
I'm just thinking in Marvel. No, but Oscar Isaac has 3 Marvel figurines.
He's got
Can you name them?
He's got Apocalypse. He's got
Moon
the Moon Knight dude.
Yeah.
Are we also counting the alter ego as Moon Knight?
No, we're not.
Poe.
It's another biggie. Who? No, not Poe. It's in Marvel.
Big.
Listeners,
Poe.
get it in the comment section. Let us know if you figured it out.
bastard
Craig, do
man.
you know? So we've got
I feel like
Apocalypse,
I
we've got Moon Knight.
Is it another Moon Knight
Is
character?
it an animated one?
No, it is an animated one.
character.
It is an animated character.
It's not in the Spider-Man one, is it?
It is in the
Oh
Spider-Man
yes,
one.
of course,
Spider-Man
of course.
2029.
Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
29.
Yeah, so he's got 3 in there.
Yes.
Absolutely killing
God
again.
damn.
So right, we'll move on from the quiz. So yeah, this episode, what I want to know, like, again, it's very basics. Did we enjoy Villain of the Week? Did we enjoy the use of, again, I don't know why, and I think Marvel are doing it really, really well with this series compared to Netflix. I would argue they're doing it better. The way they use his special hearing and his abilities and stuff like that, I think it's great.
This is
and I think
something,
the way that they're using it and stuff like that is so clever.
Yeah, this is something that I'm actually quite enjoying about the series as it's going on. The use and showcasing of his powers, because I think that's kind of what the Netflix shows lacked. Not just with Daredevil, but with like Jessica Jones, with Luke Cage and all that. It was very much a grounded in reality way of showing them. And like, I think because we're now in the MCU, we now know you've got magic, you've got gods, you've got all that stuff. Legally now we've got it, as opposed to just hearkening to it. It's easier, and I think the audience are able to just like put on those glasses of disbelief like for a wee bit and just like go with it and go, yeah, no, it makes sense. Of course somebody with fucking super hearing would be lockpicking lawyer for 50 minutes. That was brilliant.
I
loved
good.
that bit.
That was like a game.
That was
I love
so
that.
good.
But I seen an interview with Charlie Cox and he said that he's like, now that we're in the MCU, and the budget's up there a wee bit, right? Some people don't like the CGI, but there's stuff that he can do now that he done in the comics. So like the swinging with his
land and stuff.
Yeah, the way he lands, he's almost like, the way I compared it is like Black Widow. He's almost superhero power with how he can fight, but he's not quite. He's just at a very, very, very high level in terms of combat, and we see that through both of these episodes. So yeah, like, did we? I'll start just with the villains. Did we enjoy this idea where it was just a bank robbery? They do link it into working for Fisk, I believe.
This whole loan thing.
We enjoy that.
It's sort of left up in the air, but I think we can probably assume it's Fisk. But then again, it might not be. But I'm assuming it probably is. I'm wondering what the diamond jewel thing is for. Is it just like a gift for Vanessa, or is that what he's paying off the other?
So I might have been a bit dumb in that moment because I'm trying to cram 7 bits of choreography in my head at once. But I saw him hold it, and it was a slightly sort of squarish cut diamond shape. I immediately thought it was an infinity stone. And I was like, is that an infinity stone? It looks a different color, and then
no,
to interject
please.
here, there is a lovely little. No, it's not. It's not. But there's a lovely little Easter egg through this episode. If you look at all the masks that the villains are coming in on, they are the color of all the Infinity Stones, other than the Soul Stone, and that's what the wee diamond is, the color of the Soul Stone. So it was quite. It was a cool wee kind of nod to the Infinity Stones.
The masks.
So like the balaclavas were multicolored, so you'd like a blue, a red, yellow, green.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, purple.
Okay.
So yeah, that was quite cool. I like the guys. I thought they were very. Again, I'd need to look it up. In fact, I'll do it just now because I can only assume our Irish brethren are in the same boat as us, that they will be happy that
some of them sounded Irish. I think some of them sounded
Kellyanne
Irish.
O'Sullivan. So the main guy, he's got an Irish name. Yep, Irish actor. Born in New York City, so he is Irish, but he was born in New York. But yeah, they did the Irish accents were very convincing. So
I actually thought.
Oh, sorry, Paul. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say, thought it was really good antagonist, really good. Just such an Irish accent, but it so worked. Just given it was St. Paddy's Day and everything, like the whole, I particularly loved the joke, but
I loved his response. Like it's what was the phrase he used? Is it like Christmas for a Jew or Christmas for Jews?
Yeah. I loved the line. I loved the line where she was like, "Oh, we got you over here on Paddy's Day." And he's like, "Oh, clearly you don't know nothing about it. We're Protestants." And I was just like, "Oh, sectarianism lives."
I was surprised there wasn't anything between Matt Murdock and him when he was like brought up in an orphanage, because that was the for me, it would be the perfect point to be like, what team do you support? Obviously,
Yeah.
the Irish version of that, but yeah.
No. What Scottish team do you support? I fucking hate that question. The one thing I'll say about the tone of this episode, right? Again, if you think smartly, we have 4 more episodes. We have another episode to go today. But obviously nothing's going to happen to Matt Murdock. But I felt the tension. Like, see the way they were doing the stuff with the guns and the fact that they were swearing as well, where I was going, this seems more real. This seems like what people would actually say during a... It's not just guys go talking politely while... You're going to swear, and especially if you're coming from fucking Scotland or Ireland, you're definitely going to swear.
It felt to
so
me
like
that,
the whole kind of putting the gun to his head and to his chest, I was going, oh, what is going to happen? Like, what? How is he going to get out of this? What is he going to do?
did it feel to anyone else like this episode was like not just a bottle episode, but it was kind of easing the audience into the new tone of the series? Because this episode and the second
exactly
episode
how I felt
a lot more like the MCU gritty version. It's like MCU After Dark.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel almost as if these two solidified it, because I've already kind of felt that the opening episode for me was like, oh, this is brutal. There wasn't as much swearing, but in terms of the point where there's a point where Daredevil's got like 13 knives hanging out him and throws a guy off the roof and we see him land, I was like, right, that's not Marvel. You normally get him kicked off a building, you get the Wilhelm scream, and you don't see the landing. Whereas I was going, right, so this is brutal. Whereas this episode, especially just because of the swearing, I was like, right, this isn't for kids. And then there's a part of this episode near the end, and then more so the next episode where I'm like, right, the brutality of some of these fights is not for kids. Because the stuff they show you is fucking... Even that I winced at the part, so again, we're full spoilers, so I can say it. At the end, when he catches up with a guy and they have a fight next to the scaffolding and stuff, and then he curb stomps the guy's knee backwards. I was in bed with my missus and she was fast asleep, and I literally sat bolt upright and went, oh! Because I was like, we don't see that in Marvel. That's not a Marvel thing to do. And I was so I didn't expect it. And I love that this is what we're doing, because as I've said so many times, this started when I was 16. I'm now 33. Fucking age up with me. Give me something that's a wee bit darker. And that's what, and again, that's what the fucking ratings are for. If it says it's a 15, that's up to the parents to go, you can't watch this. So yeah, I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. And I think Joseph is right. I think Joseph is right in the sense of, for me personally as well, I feel like the show has now begun for me. Like I kind of now totally now see this as its own thing, as opposed to remembering the good old days of the Netflix show. Like this is now for me, especially with these 2 episodes, Daredevil is now born again. But you know what I mean. I wanted that. That's what I was waiting for. I think with my opinion on this show, is I was wanting, okay, what is this now? Where does this fit in? And I think the vibe of the show is now set. I really enjoyed episode 5 in terms of an episode in itself, as you say, ball episode. But for me, actually, kind of in a weird way, it was kind of almost like a throwback as well at times, where you had this kind of villain of the week thing, where you had this is a moment in the life of Matthew Murdock, and we get to see him use his powers, we get to see him do all the safeguarding thing. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and I think it really has kickstarted the show for me, definitely.
With that, sorry, Paul, you go, mate.
As a rule, I think I actually really enjoy bottle episodes, because I think it forces directors and writers to be
ask,
clever.
When you're saying bottle episodes, what? Explain that.
It's an episode that is contained entirely within one location.
Cool.
Usually a fairly small location, but in this case it's just the bank.
Do you remember the Fly episode of Breaking Bad, Andrew?
Yes,
bottle episode.
Yes. Cool.
That's a bottle.
Cool. I'm with you.
It's
the missing pen, Joseph, in Community. The missing pen in Community. The good old days. Oh.
Usually, directors and everything and writers need to be a bit cleverer, and they need to rely on audience knowing their character and what they would do in this situation, because you are just in the same location. You can't cut to lots of different things. So, and I think we're all saying the same thing. They did a good job with that. But what I also like about this episode is that even though I know we've sort of thrown about the word kind of filler, despite really enjoying it, it was also an important arc in that it was another step for Matt Murdock, getting closer to being Daredevil, particularly when he snaps the guy's knee, and he's just like,
Yes.
"No, you're not getting away, and I'm gonna make sure you don't do this again," kind of thing.
Can I just bring up as well the moment when he clocks the guy, like when the smoke grenade goes off and he just like gets his cane out, just smacks the guy in the head. That was fucking brilliant. Love that bit.
This is the thing, man, and it's the writing and it's the performance and it's the way they're telling the story. Charlie Cox as Daredevil is up there for me. He's so
perfect.
good. And the stuff in the back, so see when he goes back, he goes to the toilet and he attacks the first guy and he's trying to do it quietly and then the gun's about to fall and he just catches it. I'm like, this is peak Daredevil stuff and it's pure and it's silly. He caught a gun, like why is that getting me excited? But it's because what, as Paul says, the ball's starting to roll. We're going to get him to be the Daredevil that we know. And we start seeing that in episode 6. My only, and it's not really a negative, it's more just kind of, I get what they did. If they released this episode, especially considering that we do reviews, if this was just one episode and we didn't get episode 6, it would be a very quick review. There's not a lot that happens in it as much as there are some really nice things, and it is an enjoyable episode. So I think to commend Disney, they know what they're doing, releasing both of these episodes at the same time, because we get that nice little episode, and again, both 40 minutes, so it's an easy watch. You get that nice episode, and then we get furthering of the story. So let's move on to episode 6. Who wants to start? Negatives or positives? What are the highlights of this episode?
There are no negatives. If Joseph, if you say a negative, I'm going to lose my shit.
Again, the fighting editing was a little bit off. It was. They could have followed through with a bunch of the punches. I think we still haven't had, apart from the first episode, a longer sequence of fighting. It feels like they're kind of hiding
it's
from
coming.
it.
Let's face it.
No, but like I know it's going to come, and I think it's going to be the money shot of the entire series. But it's kind of what Daredevil had as like a unique identity for its fight choreography, and I think right now, like I watched back the fight at the end of episode 6, and it was like every second there was a cut. And I just want the shot. The only one that was like longer than like a couple of seconds was when he comes into the room fighting. But then it's like cut. I just want a little bit more.
See when you're saying cut, are you talking about how it cuts between
shots? Yeah.
No. Cuts between Fisk and
No. I'm meaning in the self-contained action sequence. It would be like it would like Daredevil throws a punch, and then as the punch connects, or like just after, there's a cut to the reaction, as opposed to having both of those in the same shot.
I don't think I agree, because there was times I watched it and there was times where I seen Charlie Cox throw a punch and I'm going, he's throwing like Spider-Man at the end of No Way Home. He's throwing with full force.
He is.
If Spider-Man does that,
it's more down to the actual
me,
editing of the episode that I'm having a gripe with.
To me, the reason I'm saying that is because we said follow through. There was one specific where I seen his follow through, and I'm like, fuck, and he's swinging to hurt this man. This isn't like a incapacitate. This is ending this guy. I want to talk specifically about that fight at the end, but we'll keep that for the end. Just a general question for you: are you guys enjoying the BB stuff, where it's like small parts through episodes where it's like real life people going talking about New York?
Yeah,
I think that's actually a really nice addition, because I think it gives you kind of like a flavor of what the New Yorkers are feeling at the time. I think it's very reminiscent. If anyone follows the page, I think it got quite a following as People of New York or something like on Facebook, and it was just someone taking a picture and taking a random person's life story at that moment in time. It's kind of reminiscent of that, and I like how is it James Gandolfini?
No, Michael Gandolfini.
Michael Gandolfini. I like how he I like how he sort of gave away sort of secrets to to the reporter, and it like
Mhm.
cost him, and he's having to like backtrack and yeah.
Funny how that timing works out in real life, innit?
Yeah.
But we're not political.
We're not political.
We're not
folks.
political. We're not political.
Yeah, the
Fucking
BB
idiots.
report thing, I quite like it. I think there was one of them that felt a little forced, and I think it was just because the camera was too stable. I quite liked it when it was like clearly handheld, and I think genuinely a lot of my gripes with the show come down to just like editing and stuff, and I'm just like, I want things to be a little bit tighter,
I love that my brain isn't trained like that, because I'm just sitting watching it going, punch, kick, fight.
I'm starting to bore of Vanessa a little bit. Just her as a character.
Wash your mouth out with soap. That is Vanessa. That is Vanessa.
It's not
Vanessa.
Vanessa.
So like, yeah. There's some of the I want to talk about this because it's the scenes that kind of rub me the wrong way. The weird scenes when it's him and Vanessa alone, either or in the therapist's office, and there's like kind of this weird like I the only term I can think of is like demasculization of Fisk. It was when he put on his suit jacket and it ripped. It wasn't.
Oh,
I don't that. It was kind of. Yeah.
You see,
then,
the
again,
thing is, it's the mirror opposite sort of what's happening with Daredevil in a way, because he's trying to keep his or it's the same thing that's happening with Daredevil. They're trying to keep their animal nature in, but it's just being. Help me out,
Craig, you want to join in so fucking much,
Right. Okay. So the context there, what I believe that's trying to showcase is that obviously this whole episode, I want to talk about the writing of this episode at some point. Please give me that license to do so. But essentially, this episode is about them obviously rediscovering who they are. Obviously, Daredevil's putting his costume back on. So the thing about Wilson Fisk that we established in the earlier episodes of this season was that he had lost a lot of weight. He's been going back into this kind of like, I'm now the mayor, I've got to lose weight to look like the mayor. But Kingpin is this massive guy. So what I think that scene was showcasing with the rip of the jacket was that he is slowly becoming that man again. He's becoming the Kingpin again.
Okay,
He's getting more jacked
I had
and
missed
bigger.
the whole weight loss thing.
And he was having that meal, like that hugely sausage and pasta meal in front of Adam.
Huge what?
The sausage and pasta. The
So he's on the creatine. I get it, boys. I get it.
But that's it, though. It's like, to me, that was how I looked at it. As even, I like it from the sense of what you're saying, Craig. It's almost, and kind of what Paul you're saying. It's like them kind of falling back into their actual, actual suits, their actual costumes. But I do like the thought. Maybe not as big as he was in Hawkeye, but I do like this idea that he is kind of getting bigger and he's starting to almost, as well as metaphorically, physically getting to who Fisk is and what he is.
Because like when I first watched the scene, it was like the suit ripped, and all I could just think of was, Vanessa, I'm so dummy thick, my suit doesn't fit me anymore.
But that's the thing, Joseph. I don't think you're wrong. Excuse me. I don't think you're wrong. But to me, the Vanessa character, if they're just using it to get to the point where it's Adam, isn't it?
Adam.
Yeah.
It's locked up. Yeah, if they're just using that to give him like that, I know. If you're given just a platform for that's the thing that breaks Fisk and brings him back to who he was. I don't have an issue with having Vanessa in it, and I quite like her kind of taking up the mantle while he was away. But to me, I'm just like, yeah, it's very much the kind of thing where it's like, if everything else I'm enjoying, if there's wee things that, and again, this is how I grade movies. And fucking Steph, if you're listening to me, mate, right? Keep the memes coming, pal, because bulletproof, right? Absolute bulletproof, and I'll stand by what I said. Do you know? I don't know if you guys seen the interaction on Twitter. He came at me because he says my normal take, or an Andrew Grayson take is blah, 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 right? And I says, name one time, and he says Marvel have never done a bad movie, right? And I feel as if I can put forward a really solid argument for that. And I says, well, name one. And I don't know why, like, because again, to me, I'm going, he's going to say Thor: The Dark World, he's going to say Ant-Man: Quantumania, he's going to say Thor: Love and Thunder. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, poor film.
Fuck it.
It's an
Don't
okay
make me
film.
sing again. Don't make me sing it. No, but this is what I don't. Again, this is a discussion for a catch up, right? We could do a full catch up episode about rating systems, right? Because the way you rate movies baffles me. It's not great. It's shit. That's not how movies work. Anyway, completely lost my train of thought.
Daredevil, Kingpin,
What was that?
Chunky Man,
Daredevil,
fighting.
Kingpin.
Oh yeah,
Um,
sorry. As long as I'm enjoying the stuff with like Kingpin and Daredevil and the other stuff going about, if there's wee negatives like Vanessa not really bothering me, that I don't really care. Craig, would you like to talk
Yes.
about the writing?
I would love to, Andrew. So essentially, right, what I've loved about the season from the get-go, to be fair, and I think I mentioned it in the last episode as well, is I'm liking the parallel journeys of the two characters of Daredevil and Kingpin, and how they are slowly, as we've just said, becoming who they're meant to be, becoming their fully version of themselves, the comic book version of themselves, whatever you want to call it. This episode epitomized it. It was so fantastic. Now, this is actually going against Joseph here, but I don't think he's meaning this kind of editing. I hope he doesn't anyway. But in terms of the writing and the editing of this episode, it was sublime. The way they cut between the two stories, between Daredevil's story of the episode and Kingpin's story of the episode, was amazing. They started with it and they ended with it. So they started with cutting between this day, the start of their day, and how their day kind of progresses until eventually we get to the climax and we cut between them in these two epic fight sequences where they are essentially finally re-embracing who they are. And that is why this episode is a masterpiece, lads. This is why this is brilliant and probably the best hour of television that Marvel's done. That's why, because of the way this episode was structured. The story structure of this episode was absolutely brilliant. And as I say, the way it was put together, the way it was pieced together, it had a clear through line, a clear beginning, middle, and end. And I just loved how neat and clever it was with that. You talk about the fact that episode 5 was a bottle episode. This is what we would call, I don't even know what we would call it, like a writing bottle episode. And just the way it was just beautifully structured. And it's just this nice thing in itself, nice and neat, nice and contained. And it gave you that moment at the start, moment at the end. And it was just very, very clear. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I love the moment where Fisk is heading down. He's got the axe in hand, and it's like, oh my god, he's gonna butcher this man. Like, it was like he's really going all Kingpin mode. Because I was totally like, okay, he's gonna hack this guy to bits, and then you get the twist of, I found a weapon can be a great equalizer. Here you go.
He's playing with his food, man. And the thing that I really love this, and Craig, I don't know, you've probably picked up on this writing wise, like, even, like, again, I don't really care about the relationship between him and Vanessa, right? But there's a bit where Vanessa, in the previous episodes, and again, shout out New Rockstars do the breakdown of all these episodes, and they brought up a fact. There's a point where when she's admitting that she slept with Adam, she says that he was like, she liked his hands and he was good with his hands. And they were like equating that to the fact where now he's like, oh, good with your hands, right? Have a weapon and see if you can fucking do anything, and I'll show you how good my hands are. And I'm like, oh, there's so many layers to this, man. And to me, the thought of Kingpin Kingpin could put him out of his misery if he wanted. This is how fucked up this guy is. This is how sadistic and cruel this guy, like, he could literally, again, the guy should be begging just to end his life, because even like it changes the full fucking series where every time that we've looked down and his knuckles are bloody and red, I'm going, all right, cool, so he's been down absolutely battering this Adam guy. And again, you could kind of jump to that conclusion when we found out that Adam was down there, but then when you actually see it happen and see the lengths that he's going, that he's even given him an axe, he's given him a quote unquote fair chance against him, and he's just fucking headbutting him, throwing him through a wall. How easily he dragged and threw his body back in the prison. It was terrifying. Again, I want to leave the fight to the very end, so I'm going to ask you another really quick question. So, at the beginning when we done this last week, we spoke about episode 1 and 4, and remind me. I think it was just Craig and Joseph. You guys weren't fans of Foggy going because you liked having the dynamic of the two, right? So this episode kind of solidified to me that Foggy was the right thing. That was the right thing to do. Not only was it the fact that you got the flashbacks, and again you're seeing this kind of Catholic part of his faith and stuff coming, and he's reminiscing and stuff. But there was a point where, again, I forgot his name, but I'm going to get it up. Don't tell me it's not on IMDb. What are we doing here?
What character is it?
Your man that played he's Polish guy.
Well, the detective boy.
Yeah.
I
still can't find it on IMDb.
Fuck,
it was the same last time. Regardless, anyway, the person I'm talking about, you know who I'm talking about.
Mike from Breaking Bad.
Yeah, his Mike from Breaking Bad. The thing that gets me is, like, there was a point where he's like, just let the police do it. Like, there's a conversation where he's like, look, just let the police handle this. Don't get involved. And I'm going, I couldn't watch Foggy do that again. Because it happened so many times in the previous series. Whereas this is a nice dynamic because he's part of the police. And I believe now going forward for these final 3 episodes, we obviously see Fisk put together his
anti-vigilante task force.
Yeah, exactly. His anti-vigilante task force and stuff like that. So to me, it gives another dynamic to it. It's essentially he's being used as the same role as what Foggy would be, where it's like, no, you don't need to do Daredevil stuff. You don't need to do Daredevil stuff. The system will work. The system will work. But ultimately, when we get to that point where he's on the phone and goes, fuck it, I'm like, oh yes, fucking get that cowl on and go do Daredevil stuff. I just like that dynamic, and I still think as well, giving him that, yes, Craig, you looked almost if you.
No. Come to me after. Just carry on.
So yeah, there's the stuff where he's getting told not to do it. It's the same kind of stuff, but it's from a different angle, and it's also giving him a bit of an emotional anchor, having lost his friend and now not wanting to lose other people, because we got the fact that he lost the White Tiger, and now his niece was in trouble from Muse, and he's like, no, I honestly think having him go fuck it is the best. Like, it's the best struggle. Getting to the end of a conclusion, everybody's like, nah, it's not going to work. We've done it. We've tried it. This is the best thing for me to do. Cowl on, up on the roof and start swinging. Like, I was just like, it's so well done. It's such a good fucking series.
I'll agree with you there, Andrew. Like, I think they have stuck the Foggy Death landing. I still don't think it was a good decision, but I think they've stuck that landing. And the fuck it moment was brilliant. It was. Yeah. It was really good. I think what you're meaning earlier, Craig, about the editing, I think you're more talking by like the beat by beat editing was really good, whereas like I'm like individual, like individual like post prod editing of certain scenes were a little bit sloppy.
Got you.
The thing that I really enjoyed is how Murdoch's scenes are getting darker visually, and Fisk is always illuminated, almost biblically, almost like you would see like image of a saint, especially in that last shot we see of him.
Yep.
I think that was a really nice touch, and it's kind of showing that this is how they're viewing themselves.
But that's what I was going to say. It kind of, again, what I think they're doing so well is just treading the line with what real life is like, and this idea that this clear mental psychopath criminal thinks he's doing the right thing and thinks of himself in almost an angelic kind of way,
making
and stuff, and like
New York great again.
Yeah, making it great again the way it should be. We're not political. But yeah, like the stuff for me that again that fit, that even like the way he was putting the special task force together, the tension that's building up as well, where he's like, no body cams, overtime, and I'm like, you're literally letting these fucking wild dogs off a leash.
I don't know what like the source, if there's a source for that in the comics, but I was literally, you know how they were seeing like some of the police with like Punisher tattoos. and
Punisher
stuff.
tattoos. Yeah.
I'm like, this is totally going to be like a Punisher squad. And then for whatever reason, Frank Castle's not going to like that. So he's like,
Oh yeah, he doesn't.
yeah, he's not going to like the copycats. So he's going to end up having words with the police. And Frank Castle doesn't speak with mouth, he speaks with gun.
Yeah. Speaks with
I think
bullets.
so.
But he's already kind of said that he's like, oh, these fucking copycats, and like again, it kind of goes to real life because in real life there are cops that are now getting Punisher tattoos, and what's his name? Why can't I think his actual name? Your man,
John
Bernthal.
Yeah, John Bernthal have come out and went, you're fucking idiots. You're not understanding what this is, and you're getting the meaning wrong. Stop being idiots. But
stop being so cool, man.
But to me, you've now set up. We're now going into the last 3 episodes, and I'm now like, there's so many like things that I'm now like going, oh, I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to this, and we'll talk about the fight in a minute, but I can't wait for more Muse. I fucking love that character. The character design is. We'll get to Muse. Don't worry. That was just a quick thought. But yeah, like Muse, love that character, love the design, and we'll talk about more him in specifics. But you've got that to look forward to. You've got the interaction between Daredevil and Kingpin to get to look forward to. You've now got these the vigilante hunters. Who are they going to hunt? Are they just going after Daredevil? Are they going after Muse? Are they going to go after Frank? Like, how is that going to resolve? And it's like, this is again where I feel the pacing has been perfect. Every episode I've enjoyed. And the fact that we now got 2 episodes here, we've only got 3 left, and I'm like, oh, but there's so much to tell. I can't wait to see how you're going to do it and how it's going to resolve. And we know we're getting season 2, so like, I feel as if Marvel have hit it out the park with this, and I feel as if there was a lot of pressure on them for this to just be good. I think they're great. I think they're amazing. I think by the end of this series, it's going to be high 8, high 9 for me. Like, I especially coming off me just rewatching the Netflix series, especially season 3, is keeping up. I'm telling you, I'm just as excited watching this as I was watching the Netflix stuff. Right, let's talk about the fight in more specifics. But Paul and Craig, you both got super excited when I mentioned Muse. So let's talk about Muse.
I just want to say a little bit about Muse because It's not quite to that level because boy did that show go to a graphic level. But with Muse, I got a slight vibe, and it's a very positive comment, of the Hannibal series. If you've never watched it, Hannibal series is like my favorite thing ever.
Wow.
And
we found it, boys.
That's very telling.
It's like my favorite series ever.
I'm scared.
And
what Paul needs from a good series: blood and gore, good food, and intense sexual tension between Mads Mikkelsen and just another man. I see no issues.
I mean, that sounds a good recipe to me.
Yeah.
Hey! I'm not paying you to be my therapist.
You're not paying me at all, Paul.
You're not paying me at all.
But yeah, I got serious Hannibal vibes from this, like the Muse character. Don't know much about. I've never actually heard of him. But what I really liked is that through every episode, we've been seeing these murals, and to me, it's just been like a commentary on like what the New York, like kind of like the BB stuff, like the commentary on the New York is just what the vibe kind of is like for the general people. But it's actually a character, and the murals have been made with blood, and they can't be washed off, at least not super easily and stuff. I was like, that's a cool little
again
point there.
Shout out to that character, the guy that was washing it off was also in the bank episode, and again I'm going, it's world building, it's people that we've met before. We're starting to see who New York is and who the people are, and again, it's so good. Craig,
I've worked out who Muse is.
It's Matt Bellamy.
That's why I got excited. Matt Bellamy.
Yeah, Matthew Bellamy.
well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean you've worked out who he is?
I know who Muse is.
As in what character?
I know I've worked out who's playing Muse and we've already seen him.
Yeah.
Is he is Muse
Does
Muse
anyone else? Has anyone else worked it out?
I can't remember who the actor is, but is he the dude that plays the kind of on-off love interest / monster in Wednesday?
So
I feel like
that-
I've cheated because I've watched New Rockstars and they're like this.
Oh,
guy
they've
is
already.
Muse.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not,
But
not
yeah,
that big of a
no,
show.
but you figured it out, so
but-
tell me how you got there.
Well, mainly from IMDb, because as I was scrolling through IMDb trying to find this guy, the policeman character's name, and I saw Hunter Doohan's name playing Bastion. It said, but then I remembered, oh yeah, we saw him talking to the therapist woman.
Yep.
At her book signing, and therefore, oh, of course, he must be Muse, and that's how it's all going to connect.
Oh, that
so
was
Well,
like...
I'm glad you've brought that up though, because again, New Rockstars kind of pointed out when we see him at the book signing, he looks quite a skinny wee teenager. But then when we cut to the fight with Daredevil, the stuntman is fucking jacked, man.
Yeah.
Like the guy in the stunt. No, it might actually be him. I don't know. But like the guy that was doing the stunts looked fucking hench. Do we like the design because it looks so comic accurate? Like so comic accurate. Have you
Yeah.
seen any of the images of anything?
I think it's working.
Yeah, it's sorry.
I liked
me-
it.
to me-
I have no idea
Yeah.
what it looks like, so I will actually look that up right now.
He literally looks like even to the point of having the suspenders. Like it looks great. The thing I love about this is I kind of put it to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. There's points where you see him like, and you could even maybe say Mad Max as well, hanging these blood bags up and taking the blood out. And as again, it's such a cool fucking concept that he paints murals and the people that he's murdered and stuff like that, and like that makes sense. Even that Fisk would want to stop that because he wants this idea that he's making fucking, but you can't have that happening. So yeah, I love
pretty cool. Sorry, I was just looking at
I love the character of Muse. I think we've not really seen much in terms of performance wise any much more. We're probably going to get at least one more episode with him. We know we're going to get one more episode of John Bernthal as well. Right, let's break this fight down. I'm going to put out what might be a hot take, but I'm going to stand by it. Daredevil's entrance to this fight is up there with any Batman entrance I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Hang on.
So when
it was like
so see
lukewarm,
the you see
lukewarm.
lukewarm. Don't make me sing again. I will fucking bring that song out. I'm going to get it recorded and I'm just going to have to play a button. The point where Muse is coming out and looks down the subway tracks and you get the red brake lights in the subway shining in his eyes, and then you just see this fucking figure out of nowhere hits his zip line and comes out. I'm like, that's so cool.
What about the one in the Dark Knight where there's like several of them and they pull out guns and it's like a fake out and then the real one turns up?
No. Arguably, the one that I would put up against this is Robert Pattinson's The Batman when he just walks out,
Yeah.
because that was cool as fuck.
Yes,
That
and
was really cool.
it stops the guy. Yeah.
To me, that kind of just like encapsulates who that Batman is. Whereas this, I was just like, this is Daredevil. He's coming head first, quick as he can, from nowhere. You don't know where he's coming from, and you're already on your arse.
It was a good entrance. It was I was dunking on you there.
Before we
It's not hard, I'm
delve
5'8".
Before we delve into the fight, can I pick out
Yeah.
one little gripe that I had? And I understand.
It
I
wouldn't
understand.
be a With Mates podcast without it.
Hey, I've been with you all the way here, so
I
come
know,
on.
but again, we miss
Give-
He's got
Big
money in the
Paul.
bank, to be fair.
Give your salad unto Caesar. Come on. So, this. I was just wondering with this fight, because I don't recall anything in the episode. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like there could have possibly been a whole episode on just finding where his base is. And,
Yeah.
like, from the moment he gets a call saying, my little girl's gone, it's like, bang, I've found you in the subways. Now, I know he's got powers, but that he's not
No.
omnipotent.
Yeah, there's
Omnipotent.
He hears real
Omnipotent.
good, Paul. He hears real
He's
good.
not-
He put his head
he's
at the
not
window and
Omni-Man.
he's like, He's like, I'm
again,
hearing off a well good, like, and I know where he is. I hears his heartbeat, like.
She's got a distinct perfume. I can smell it through the way here. I do get what you're saying, and again, there does come a point of just like you just need to kind of crack on with it because there was the same thing in episode 5. There's a point he's on the phone to his partner, his law partner, and he's like, oh, "Call the cops," and gives her no other information. Like so,
I agree because I actually remember thinking that my one thought about that was he probably always tells her where she is,
where he's going
because he's blind. Was my
Yeah.
one thought about that, but I don't know anything beyond that.
Or he's got his tracker on or something like that. Who knows? But again, to me, those are minor details.
Yeah,
I'm just he's figured it out. It's fine. We don't need a full episode, or we don't need 20 minutes on that. In terms of the actual fight, I think the brutality that they've brought to the choreography of this is some of the best I have ever seen. That I put this up there with John Wick. I put this up there with The Raid. I think the violence. It was one of the highlights to me and it was a plot within the Spider-Man movie where it was like, oh, he stopped holding back. So there was a point where you see Tom Holland Spider-Man really swinging for Green Goblin. When you watch Charlie Cox and whoever it is that was doing the stunts for, or both stuntmen, whoever, again, the brutality, and again, it's a lovely wee mirroring image of Fisk and Daredevil both swing as hard as they fucking can when they are fighting and stuff like that.
Oh, he takes that as well. I'm watching it live, guys.
I thought it was
again as we're talking.
I thought it was very
so again,
hot when they cut from Daredevil's headbutt to Fisk's headbutt.
To Fisk's headbutt, it was so good.
Quite good.
It was almost
one that I really liked.
It was just another comparison. It was almost not exactly, but almost Star Wars like, in one of the good movies where they're having the big lightsaber fight, and then it cuts to one of the other battles going on, and it's sort of cutting back and before. It kind of reminiscent.
Oh, are you meaning like in that bit in the best one where they're kind of like speaking through the Force, and then they're able to pull things through the? Let's
not bring Josef! We're talking about them.
Right. Sorry. Can I just say, as I'm watching this live, Joseph, you are so wrong. Like the editing of this fight is insanely good.
Okay, what do you mean? What do you mean by editing? What let's?
Well, you said that you said that things cut away too quickly. Is that not what you were saying?
Yeah.
You're wrong.
It's like bang
wrong.
bang cut. There's
no,
too
it's
much
not.
of it.
It's really not. It's really not. Like they are lingering on things quite a bit in this fight. I'm watching it right now. You're wrong.
Is it? I don't know if I'm thinking it. I don't know if I'm thinking it in the same way, right? Paul, you'll know what I'm talking about. So there's a whole thing in WWE, like when they're doing moves and punching and stuff, they cut from camera to get a different angle. Is that kind of what you mean?
Yeah, it's like that.
Right.
But they're not doing that.
Yeah, I don't see that either. I'm afraid.
Joseph,
the one
I'm
thing
afraid I've rubbed off on you, and you're bringing the energy. But I like that. This
Paul.
Is a positive.
I like when you rub off.
This is a positive. I know. I like that
right,
special time too.
I have 3 highlights from the Daredevil fight that I would like to just praise the people. Right. First one is I love when he's looking one way and just dodges something. I love that because I'm like, oh, I heard them coming. It's so good.
Yeah.
It looks great. The timing's always brilliant. Fantastic. The other thing I want to mention is there's a point where, and again, it's such you don't get, like, when we watch these superhero things, a lot of the fights are CG and it's just punch or a shoot, a laser beam, and it's not. See, when you see this hand-to-hand combat, it's so well performed and it's so well done, and you can see, like, knee to the gut, one to the rib, one to the head, blah, blah, blah. It's really well done. There's a shot after Daredevil kind of knocks Muse down and then gives him a kick, and Muse is on his back, and then the camera turns while he turns to his front.
Yes.
Oh, it's such a good shot. That's a highlight shot for any kind of Marvel in 2025.
Yeah,
and
that was a
sizzle
sizzle
reel
reel
some of the
shot.
highlights.
That was definitely a sizzle reel shot.
That's exactly the thing I was looking for. Sizzle reel shot. I love this stuff. Again, the use of his weapon in this is really, really cool. And there's, I lied. There's 4 moments. There's a bit where he walks forward and takes 2 roundhouse kicks to the jaw and just keeps walking forward, and I'm like,
yes,
Charlie Cox is a fucking animal. I love it. So good. And I now, again, the thing for this year is someone needs to pay me to play golf. The thing for my career, other than play Wolverine, and again, I could do this thing if they cast me as Wolverine. I want to be cast in a role where I have to do a vitriol fucking from your belly scream that Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio do as these that kind of. I want to play a character where I get to do that because my god.
I have done that, and it's great. That was me and Joseph. So Joseph, you were on this film with me, the war film. I don't know if you saw. Did you see me do that part? Were you still there when I had to like smash the guy's head in with an axe?
That was me. You smashed my head in with it was the spade, wasn't it?
It wasn't you. It was someone else I was smashing the head in.
Listeners, Craig has a history of being cast in films and then smashing one of us up as a role. I've just got
Andrew to go.
It's a strange trend.
Just got Andrew to go.
Was it the bit in the trench?
You can fucking try, mate.
I've been working out as well, mate. I'm getting there.
Fair.
There. Yeah. No, I've done it. It's really cool. It's good fun to do.
It's like, but again, even just as a character choice, like it does it in season 3 of the Netflix series where he gets Bullseye to do it, and it's just like sometimes you just need to. But see, watching him do these fights, and then it's just like kick. He walks forward, hits him an absolute punch, and then screams. I'm just like, that must be so much fun to film. That must be so much fun to get to do that. That must be a scene where it's like, oh, today's the day. Today's when we get to do this part. Yeah, that's the day. Today we're going to do that. I love this. Again, we've kind of already spoke about it, the mirroring image. There's a point where Daredevil like rock bottoms Muse on a table, and then it cuts to D'Onofrio, and he throws Adam off the roof, and he lands on a table. It's honestly one of the most fun, brutal fights I've ever watched, and even the ending where Daredevil ties him up on his cord and nearly hangs him.
Hang him, yeah.
Again, it's like, I like this idea. I don't kill, but I'm going to take you so close. Like, it's like Batman is just, I don't kill. Whereas with this Daredevil, I'm going, he might need to restart your heart. Like, he does that with the girl, but like, I'm going, there's a good chance he's going to kill somebody and have to restart their heart because he's taking it to the edge.
How many people were they say he was supposed to have killed? Like 60 or something, so like that will weigh on him. But I also like the symmetry going on between Fisk and whatnot, because Adam is constantly trying to reach for the axe and using the axe, whereas Daredevil is always trying to reach for the while fighting Muse, he's also trying to stop the girl from bleeding out because she's literally being drained
and
still listening to her heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love all that.
The thing that I really liked was the showing of how strong Kingpin is.
Yeah.
And obviously we spoke about it before, it was like, let's level the playing field. Here's an axe. And come at me. I thought it was a brilliant way to set up just like, oh fuck, something's about to happen. And then this was Kingpin playing with his food. And
he snapped
the axe, yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's not a difficult thing. That's not an easy thing to do. I said the wrong word. I was going to say it's a difficult thing to do, but merged the two sentences together.
Yeah. I was really going, Boon's been working out as well, if that's a fucking easy thing to do.
Yeah, I just bend like the bar. That's my warm up. It's really
that's
not.
The routine.
I loved how he was just throwing this dude around, and obviously that last shot of him like sitting in the cell, bloodied knuckles, that lovely slow pan up to his face, really lovely shot. The thing that I enjoyed about the fight with Muse was there was like that uncertainty of, is this the point where Daredevil's going to kill someone?
Yeah.
There was like a little bit of, okay, the line is now getting a bit muddied.
I like that.
It's good. It's good.
I really do.
It's a beautiful fall from grace.
I loved the ending as well, where she wakes up, says Daredevil, and he's like, I'm here. And I'm like, fuck yeah,
yes,
you're
you are.
here. And it's a lovely wee wink to the audience of everybody going, just want to put the suit on. Oh, the suit's on, and he's fucking here for dinner, and I am here to enjoy every morsel. I cannot wait.
And
Episode
Muse
5 and 6 to me.
got
so
away,
much fun.
didn't he? Muse got away.
He
too.
did. He escaped. Yeah, he ran off. So that's what I'm saying. So to me, we'll round off this podcast. What are you looking forward to most now? Right, we've got Daredevil in the suit, so I'm assuming that's us. We're going to these last 3 episodes. He's going to pretty much be in the suit. I don't think we'll get any more lawyer stuff really. We might get another couple of hints at the cop stuff, but we're going to get the vigilante group. We're going to get another John Berenthal. We've seen that in the mid-season trailer. Hope more Kingpin and stuff like that. Paul, I can only assume you're looking forward. Oh, go on.
My prediction is at the start of this series, we found out Vanessa had an affair with a man named Adam, and that Kingpin.
He's got the wrong Adam.
Well, no, that would be fantastic. Actually, that would be brilliant. But
I have your lover, and then she pulls over. She's like, "I have never seen that man in my life.
but
Get me another Adam."
She said yes. An affair with Adam, and she was like, "Please don't kill him." And he's trying to be mayor. He's actually trying to give Mayor, despite how he's playing it, he's trying to give Mayor, he's trying to give it an actual go. But as we see, he's devolving back into Kingpin. And what I think is eventually either she's gonna find out or she's gonna walk in on this or something, and she's gonna fall in love all over again with her Kingpin, with her Fisk, because that is the man she loved.
I actually agree.
That's such a shout. Do you know the thing the thing I could see doing though? I think she could overstep. So obviously they've had this whole thing where she's kind of taking over. I think she might overstep, and that'll be the thing that will make him snap. And he'll bring her down, so that she has to watch as he kills him. And I never ever thought of this until you said it, Paul. But then you could see her go, "There's my Wilson.
There's my man."
That's so fucked up.
That'd
be great.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
You could also see because he's not being like Kingpin. You could also see he's not back, but in the same way that in the way I'm back, like Daredevil's back, Kingpin is back. Our husband is actually back.
White suit and all. That's what we need. We need the white suit on.
See, marriage counselling. What did I tell you?
Oh, Jesus Christ! Any more predictions or any more things that we're looking forward to, Joseph and Craig?
I reckon that we're going to get a scene where Daredevil fights the crooked cops and he's losing.
Yes.
And when there's all hope lost, in walks the Punisher. And
who is dead?
And then they're going to save the day together, and the whole series is going to end with her having dinner at Kamala Khan's house.
Good. Get them family members in. He's already had dinner at She-Hulk's house.
They're definitely setting up
dinner
East Coast Avengers or whatever it is with her.
Well, there's already talks.
Young Avengers.
It's either Young Avengers, but there's also a series called The Champions, which the White Tigress is in, so that could be the niece in there.
Oh,
as
it will
well,
be the
so
niece. Easy.
But yeah, to me, I'm just looking forward to these last 3 episodes. It's if it continues the way it's already at, fucking great. I think by the end of this, I will say this is the best MCU TV series. I think it's got potential.
By the end, by the end, as in it's not already.
It already is the best. Marvel
it's
TV
not that
series.
It's not that it's not already. It's I'm going. What have we learned? Again, me and Craig talk about it all the time. What have we learned about Marvel? They can't land.
They spoil endings.
They swing and a miss a lot.
They can't land. They can't.
They throw too much money at
finale.
things.
Yeah.
They make bad decisions. What else do they do wrong?
Take a deep breath, Andrew.
What's that stench? It's the things he makes. Joseph Boone and his smelly takes. And with that,
I was with you. I was with
podcast.
You there, Joseph.
Thank you.
Don't fucking join in. You got a fucking jingle and all. Just give me a week.
Maybe I want a jingle.
Okay, homework aside. That's all for this week, folks. Let us know what you thought of episode 5 and 6. Are you loving Daredevil Born Again as much as 3 of us are? Question mark. Joseph's coming around. He was much more positive this week. Let us know in the comment section what your thoughts are. What are your predictions? Is this your favourite series? If not, what is your favourite series? Steph, come at me. Whatever you've got, I look forward to it. Make sure you are following along on social media at WithMatesPod on all social media platforms. We've got lots of stuff coming up. We've got Last of Us coming out. We're doing our Daredevil catch-up is on YouTube. So if you're on our YouTube channel, make sure you're watching every episode of the catch-up. That comes out every Monday. We've got some fun stuff to discuss this coming Monday. We'll be talking all things Doomsday, casting choices and whatnot. Lots of exciting stuff coming up for that. But yeah, get involved in the conversation. Get involved and become a mate with us. Become one of our mates. Get involved in the conversation and we will join in with you. Joseph, where can the people find you and all that you do?
The lovely people can find me in my newsroom listening to Black Holes and Revelations, which is my Instagram and Twitter page, both at Joseph Boone on both platforms.
And Paul, where can you be?
Find
I don't know what that is. I got distracted.
the haunting mural that is my Instagram page. That is at Stirrit Story.
Craig Andrew Minnie.
And you can find me patiently waiting to beat down on Andrew on a future project at Craig Andrew Mooney on all social media platforms.
And if you want to follow me, I'm at @AndAlf the Grey. But more importantly, follow the podcast at WithMatesPod. That's the important stuff. Get us on Spotify and Apple for every podcast need. And of course, follow us on YouTube for all our catch-up goodness and the odd video podcast for what we are watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Latest on the main G.
Doesn't give me a theme song, I'll show. Who does he think? I'm Polly Smack!